Thank you and good morning, everyone. I'm joined today by our Adjutant General, Mike Stencel, and the Director of the Office of Emergency Management, Andrew Phelps. Benjamin Franklin once said, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail." When facing the reality of a cascade subduction zone earthquake, success is relative. The ground will shake from 4 to 6 minutes. Bridges and buildings will fall. Landslides will sweep down hillsides, and in some places the ground will liquefy. Then a tsunami will inundate the coast with as little as 15 minutes warning. All this could mean thousands of fatalities, thousands of destroyed homes and buildings, and billions of dollars in economic loss. This might seem so overwhelming that preparation by individual Oregonians or our state government is too big of a task. But I want you all to know that we can do this. We can do this together. Preparedness is readiness. We will do it together, building a better prepared and more resilient Oregon, one step at a time, one brick at a time. Today we take a major step toward resiliency. We are simulating how well the state will react in the first 4 days after a major earthquake. Fortunately, we have the Cascadia playbook to guide us, and this exercise allows us to test it in a very dynamic and informative way. It gives us a chance to respond to the necessary refinements that we need to make so we can be even better prepared to respond in the future. The playbook accomplishes 3 essential functions for state agencies. First, it lays out assignments for the different players who have a role in emergency response. It will keep our efforts organized in a time of chaos. Second, it provides a checklist of immediate actions required by our emergency support function team experts. And finally, it provides organizational clarity for existing plans developed by local emergency management partners. The Office of Emergency Management has also worked very hard to refine roles once we are able to shift our focus from emergency recovery to the long months that Oregonians will spend working to rebuild our state. In March of this year, I signed an executive order to create the framework for the Governor's Disaster Cabinet and the Economic Recovery Council. The Cabinet and the Council will assist me with critical decisions during the recovery phase following the Cascadia subduction zone earthquake. I also recognize the importance of a long-term vision for readying Oregon's infrastructure for a major event, and that's why I'm very pleased to introduce to you our new Seismic Resiliency Officer, Mike Harriman. Mike will work with my policy advisors, state agencies, the legislature, and local governments, as well as Oregonians throughout the state, to prioritize and budget for projects that will occur over a long span of time. The good news is there are already several projects underway. Mike will coordinate those separate efforts and create a comprehensive approach to how Oregon builds seismic safety and resilience planning and preparation in the future. This work could not come soon enough. I'm looking forward to the momentum that Mike will bring in the effort to get all of our communities throughout the state of Oregon prepared. Individuals and communities should also think about how to tackle preparations incrementally. The Statesman Journal has done a great job in highlighting this. Oregonians should have emergency plans for their families, and their homes should be stocked with food, water, and critical items to help them sustain extended periods of time without electricity or plumbing. For some, that means one big trip to the store. For others, it may mean picking up 1 can of food or 1 gallon of water every week, or whatever they can afford to spend a little extra. But for other families, they're going to need assistance, and we are going to have to provide it to them. In any of these cases, the Office of Emergency Management is enacting a social media campaign designed to help Oregonians prepare to be self-sufficient after a major event. I encourage Oregonians to follow OEM for posts with suggestions on how to prepare, including a weekly update on getting supplies ready. Thank you so much for joining me today as we take another important step towards readiness and resiliency. Thank you so much. Well, I think the key pieces are, number one, making sure that Oregonians in Portland and throughout the state are prepared, that they have a toolkit or supplies for at least 2 weeks. That means food, shelf life foods like peanut butter and Spam, and water. The second piece is infrastructure and investing in infrastructure.
Thank you for the question. I think the impacts to all infrastructure, whether it's our roads and highway system or our rail infrastructure, would certainly be impacted. Can't speak certainly for the standard operating procedures of the various railroad providers here in the state of Oregon, but the operating assumption is that all rail traffic would stop until tracks can safely be assessed.
You know, as the governor alluded to just now and earlier, you've got a massive logistical response going to need to be coordinated with the federal authorities, both your active component in terms of the services, but FEMA and all the outside support that's going to be coming into that. Despite the best plans that we have now, the purpose of today's exercise is to stress this and find out where those seams might be in areas that we need to address going forward. The other piece I'd echo is regard to just the civilian-to-civilian, neighbor-to-neighbor response. You're hearing a lot about the major mechanical aspects of this, but those first 36, 72 hours where the life-saving efforts are really going to be had is neighbor to neighbor, looking out for each other, being able to assist, knowing that they've got those personal ready kits ready as they wait out that federal response. Again, a lot of roads, infrastructure, and everything's going to be coming down, and we're going to be relying on people to be able to look out for themselves, help their neighbor until that major logistical response is able to get on scene and take us to the next level.
Right at the waist, and you can tighten up here. The exits here, we've got two, one on each side, just the door handle.
I'm the last minute addition. All right, great.
Probably right here.
All right.
Ma'am, it's Brian, do you want?
I know.